they call us that. But as soon as all minorities realize that we're in the same boat, either way you cut it, because I get confused when I see, racism between blacks and Mexicans. You know what I'm saying? Like, how the hell we not getting along? Or Asians and blacks. Like, how in the hell do we not realize that we're in the melting pot together, man? You know what I'm saying? Do you see some of that, and do you wonder about any of those things, Chris? I'm asking Deon the same opinion, same question after this. What do you think about that, Chris?
I mean, just when it comes to the race on race thing, I just think the thoughts and ideas, nobody is born to know what's right from wrong in that aspect, right? Mm-hmm. When it comes to learning right and wrong, it's more so when we're younger, it's sensory things. You touch a hot pan, you learn real quick not to touch it. Mm-hmm. When it comes to verbal stuff, there's no other place than at home or something within that child's range that it's absorbing to learn, what a slur is and then how to use a slur, it's everything is beginning at home.
Exactly. And hold on real second. I'm going to cut you off, but the comment section wants to jump in 1 second. Brielle Rambo says anyone can be a terrorist no matter the race, white people included. Another example of the mindset stuck in the white privilege bubble. Basically saying that America's stuck in a white privilege bubble and they don't want to call out their own. Very, 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 very powerful statement. Thank you a lot, Brielle. Thank you for that. And Deon, to you. Seeing racism. You went to Jefferson Forest High. To the people at home, you have different people. All schools got different types of people there, right? But y'all had some upscales, some real upscale white people, real upscale black people. And y'all had some lower level people that's trying to get by. Speak on the racism, that you might have seen or experienced and growing up in that, and how we've all been coped to keep it moving, ignore the shit. Chris has been coped to keep it moving and ignore the shit. I've been coped to keep it moving and ignore the shit. Speak on that from Jefferson Forest. That's a place that racism has been there in the past for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't. I don't think back then when I was going there, at least I graduated in 2005.
Okay. So
when I graduated, at least it happened to me one time. Mm-hmm. Right, so it was this girl that I was dating. Okay, she was white. Okay. I mean, that's just where I was at. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So she was white, and obviously, black people hung out with the black people, especially in a school like that. That's predominantly white. Mm-hmm. So, but somehow we hit hooked up or whatever. Her pops was not feeling that shit at all. You know that. So, one day we got into it, whatever, and you already know she dropped the bomb.
She dropped the N-bomb?
Of course she did.
Because y'all got to arguing, she dropped the N-bomb.
Yeah, we got to arguing and she dropped the bomb. Okay. So I went back to class, right? Went to the next class. And I'm pissed. You know what I'm saying? Visibly pissed. Because it's I don't really, you know what I'm saying? Regardless of what people may think that you already had spoke on, whatever people may think, I don't do that shit to females. That's just not what I do. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pissed. And some of the black kids that I was cool with, they was females. They was about that shit. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, their situation, just like mine, just happened to place them in Forest, Virginia. Okay. That's it. Okay. But they was about that shit. Yeah. They asked me what happened. I told them when the bell rung to let out, because it was right before last class. Yeah. When the bell let out the rink, man.
They went to it?
They went to it. I'm talking about Shorty smashed her head in a brick outside the... Oh, Jesus. Before they did the remodel, it was brick outside that. Bruh, she was not having that shit. And that's what I'm saying, but at the end of the day...
Gunshot. Go ahead. I did the gunshot.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just even in that situation, just because... Even at that age, I'm a black man. I felt like I was disrespected, but I felt like I couldn't do anything about it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Whether it's white, female, whatever, we're all just trained to just take that shit. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And that's the fucked up part about it, man.
So, Chris, and that's very important what Deon is saying right here, man. And I gotta ask you, Chris, man, growing up, did your parents talk to you about, racism may come your way or how to handle racism, or was it just go to school, handle your business, don't Don't ignore everybody. How was it in your home life? You know, did they talk to you about possible racism, and how did that work out?
I remember the first time, like, I came home upset. I was young, you know what I mean? I was getting picked on for, like, whatever, you know. I was in, like, 4th, 5th grade, you know, young. So, like, you know, when we're young, things affect us, but, like, people pulling their eyes back and stuff like that. So, you know, I was talking to my mom, like, oh, you know, they're doing this, they're, you know, saying all this, you know, like, ching, ching, chong. So, you know, she told me, you know, like, yeah, it's wrong. You know, you can ask people to stop, you know, tell a teacher, stuff like that. You know, she always told me, you know, violence ain't the way to go either, because it ain't going to solve nothing. I'm going to get in trouble anyway. So it was just, like, best to ignore it. And, you know, my dad, he was like, you know, it's funny that, you know, they're saying, like, you're Chinese and stuff like that, not even, like, keeping in mind that China is not, like, the only
yes, Asian
country producing an Asian population. There's maybe at least 50 other ones. So you got, like, all these different groups. So my dad was like, you know, just think about how ignorant there are. You're Filipino, and they're sitting there calling you Chinese. Like, they can't even insult you the right way. So, you know, it was little stuff like that, you know, that helped me, like, I guess, like, rise above it and just, like, see people's ignorance. You know, they're already being stupid.
Exactly. So and you know...
Just let them keep going on. Because, you know, I was only, like, I think there was maybe 3 other Asian kids that I can remember, you know, that went to school with us.
Very true. Very true. Very true. And, you know, I think what happened, you know, with you, from my memory, like, you know, to the audience, you know, Chris seems like, you know, you hold it in. You're a thick-skinned guy. When somebody sees you, you know, you're a thick-skinned. Back in the day, you was rapping and doing freestyles between classes. Like, you know, you were very diverse.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You were very diverse. And I think what happened was people would take this joking thing and not even think that, hey, man, you're being racist right now, bro. Like, we talking about joking. So, you know, when stuff like, you know, the movies come out and, you know, I know when the rush hours and all that came out, they couldn't wait to start messing with you and stuff like that. But you coded a lot of it.
Oh, brother.
Yeah. You've been through it all. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, for real, if I keep it real with you, you probably been through more racism than my black ass did coming up in school. Because everybody thought it was just cool and funny just to say something about the Asian guy. Like, you know, like, he don't care.
Right, yeah, because there's, you know, there wasn't many of me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, in our school, if somebody dropped the bomb, there's probably going to be at least 10 other people standing up.
Yeah.
True.
Ready to get on somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
True.
They say something to me, and it's like, I look around like, I mean, all right. You know, like, you know, like, I mean, I had some friends, you know, along with me the whole way. You know, it was like, I had one particular friend growing up, you know, and my dad, he was like, you know, like, you're his best friend, you know, just make sure nothing happens to him. Just, you know, watch over him. And, you know, like, the whole time, like, we were in school and everything, you know, stuff would happen there and then, and he would just tell him, like, you know, like, hey, there ain't no reason for that. No reason for that at all. And for some reason, like, when they heard it from him, you know, some people would stop, some people wouldn't care, but for the most part, you know, it was kind of cool, like, having somebody, like, not Asian, you know, like myself, you know, being of another race, like, stand up for me, you know what I mean? So, you know, that was kind of cool and everything, but, like, yeah, it was just every chance that people would get to, like, say something and, like, relate, like, a skin color to something that has nothing to do with me whatsoever. It was like, why? Like, why every day?
Exactly. And I gotta jump into this, man. Is it true that, you know, I think you said your senior year, your junior year, there was a guy messing with you in class, calling you racist names or whatever the third. Is it true that he waited for you after class, tried to fight you, swung on you, ended up falling down a flight of steps, hurting himself, and both of y'all got suspended for 10 days? Is that how that went?
Yeah. So he was saying stuff to me during the whole class. And, yeah, he waited for me. I was just trying to go. And swung. I just moved out the way. He went down the stairs, and the next thing I know, resource officer and assistant principal is on me. And then, you know, we get in the office, and the principal looks at my mom and dad and goes, you know, we know it's a problem, but we got to make an example out of him. And I'm like, and this is like in seventh grade, 8th grade, I got this mentality like, okay, it's a problem, but you're not going to do nothing about it because why? So instead, I get the same punishment when I didn't even provoke it.
At that point, have you ever been in trouble like that? Have you ever been suspended or anything like that?
Nope. No, it was the first time I ever been suspended.
Damn, dude. So I can't even imagine.
And that's the only time, actually. The first and only time I'd ever been suspended was for 10 days for reacting to rape.
10 days for getting messed with.
That's fucked up.
Dude. So, what is your mental, man? Like, you at home, you're in trouble. You ain't even supposed to be in trouble. Is your family coping with you? Or are they saying you should have done something differently? How was it at home, man?
My parents were, upset about, like I had to deal with it. But, even then it was like, there's the only thing I can do about it is tell somebody at school, because thinking like rationally, getting into a fight with somebody, it's going to be no good for anyone, no matter how bad they might have it coming.
Man.
So, I just learned to deal with it, and I kept myself busy. I talked to my friends and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
It was normal for the most part. It was just just more so having to deal with it every day. It got old quick.
Well, it's funny you say that, man. How do you deal with, you made that post? I saw a particular friend comment on it. I won't put his name on them like that, but I saw a person come. This is how powerful your words are, man. And words can be when you outlet. Because some people say, nah, don't do that, don't say that. But you need to let that out of you. I saw a guy comment yo, man, my bad. I know I was probably one of the ones that was talking that crazy trash to you, bro. And I never knew I was hurting you or doing this. And I apologize. So how does that feel on the back end? And I'm sure you probably read the comment and remember who I'm talking about. How does that feel on the back end to see that, all right, somebody acknowledging they wrongs? How does that feel?
When it comes to that, when I made that post, I knew I might get some stuff I maybe wasn't looking for, but at the same time, that was also reactionary to what happened in Atlanta, and I'm like, yo, I ain't really told too many people about this except for my best friend growing up through school. He knew about it.
Right.
My mom, my dad, my sister. That was it. And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm friends with a couple of people I went to school with, and I don't have any shame. This stuff happened.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what happened. And you get. I was reading all the comments, trying to, I was responding to as much as I could.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just people on there too, also saying, I recognize some of these names,
yeah.
And I'm not surprised. And I'm like, oh, yeah, somebody else sees it, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I didn't talk much about it in school because I didn't have anybody else, I guess, I could relate to.
Any bad backlash? Any guys inbox you with the why you put me in that? Or did they just stepped off and they know they was wrong?
Yeah, to be honest, there's not one lie in there.
Yeah, so you haven't. So nobody has hit you up.
In that whole thing.
So none of those guys that's on the post, they haven't hit you up or say anything.
Nope.
Okay, because they know.
What the fuck they gonna say for real?
They know it's all facts.
Yeah, he was I told you, I went and read the post.
My guest seen it too. Yeah,
because first of all, that shit.
But when it comes to somebody now, I'm sorry to cut y'all off. You asked me about. I didn't want to lose it. Y'all asked me about somebody apologizing for stuff like that.
Yeah.
If somebody that I know that did something like that to me, other people, and they want to apologize, that does kind of take a lot to know that you were messed up in one of the worst ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be able to admit it
and
just, I guess, reconcile whatever can be, just the apology for closure, whether it's the I was young and stupid thing or, this, that, and the third. If somebody wants to apologize, cool. You say what you want. But I'm always going to remember you as that.
In that light,
now, am I going to go out of my way to keep saying like, oh, you did this and you did nah.